Hello, thank you for joining us today for an overview of how to complete the DD Form 2656. My name is Heather Walrath, and I am part of Navy Mutual Aid Association. We are the oldest federally recognized veteran service organization in the country. We serve all members of the armed and uniformed services and provide high-quality, affordable life insurance for service members. We also provide education to the community on matters of personal finance and help veterans and their families secure the benefits that they have earned through their service. Please reach out if we can assist you in any of these ways. This information does not constitute the endorsement of any services by DoD. This module is a basic guide and should not be construed as tax advice, financial planning, insurance counseling, or legal counsel. Keep in mind the programs referenced here may change from time to time. Navy Mutual Education and Veteran Services does not collect information for sales or marketing purposes, nor do we endorse any financial products or institutions. Please take time to pause and read this disclaimer in its entirety. What is the DD-2656? The actual name of the form is the Data for Payment of Retired Personnel. It's used by several different individuals. It could be a member who's retiring after 20 or more years of service. It could be a medical retiree that's retiring before 20 years of service, or it can be used for someone that is being medically separated. There's a lot of information that is provided on this form, including bank account information for deposit of funds, beneficiary information for your final check and for SPP purposes, tax withholdings from your retirement check, lump sum election for those under the blended retirement system, and your survivor benefit plan election. I would recommend that you fill the form out electronically, and the link can be found here. That way, as you click boxes, other boxes that won't pertain to you will not populate. The most current version of the DD-2656 is dated March 2022, so make sure you're using the most current version. In this first section, you want to fill out your information regarding your name, pay grade, branch of service, type of service, and type of retirement. Now, if you are a medical retirement and you are going to be using your DoD rating instead of your years of service as your multiplier for your retirement pay, make sure that you select disability retirement. In this section, you are electing which bank account to have your money deposited into. If you're active duty and you would like to continue using the same account that your current paycheck is deposited into, simply check the box for active duty only. If you would like to use a different account, please fill out the information regarding that account, including whether it's a checking or savings account, the routing account number, and the information about the financial institution. In the next section, Payment Type Received, you will only check a box here if you are being separated. So if you are receiving a medical separation or an involuntary separation or any other of the types of separations there, please check the box. If you are being medically retired or retired after 20 years, just click None. Let's talk about Section 4. This relates to VA disability compensation. Please read box A and click Agree. This is basically explaining that there could potentially be an offset of your retirement pay and VA disability pay. In B, please click Yes or No regarding whether or not you have applied for or are receiving VA compensation. In boxes C and D, only fill that out if you are actually receiving retirement pay. If your pay is pending, simply leave these boxes blank. Let's talk about Section 5. This section asks for you to designate a beneficiary for any unpaid retirement pay. Please understand that retirement pay is paid in arrears. For example, The pay that you earn for January 1st through January 31st would be paid on February 1st. However, if you were to pass away on January 10th, you need to designate who would get that final paycheck for those 10 days of January. You may add anyone that you would like here, and this can be changed later. If you are a medical retiree who will be waiving your retired pay, it's not necessary to complete this section. However, there's nothing wrong with putting a person down if you feel more comfortable doing so. That way, in case your situation changes and you do receive retirement pay for whatever reason, you have already identified a beneficiary. Part 6 of this form has to do with tax withholdings from your retirement pay. I would recommend that separatees still complete this section of the form. Even though it likely will not apply to your situation, if anything changes and you do end up receiving retirement pay, you'll already have the form complete. Keep in mind that this section can always be updated later on the pay services. Do your best to complete the information as you know information today. Meaning your tax rate is really based on your overall household income. So you may not quite know what that's going to be yet. Are you going to have a job after you leave service? Is your spouse going to be working? Please answer the questions to your best of your ability, but again, you can make updates, and I highly encourage you to revisit this topic within the first year that you have separated to make sure that your withholdings are appropriate for your situation. Line 24 has to do with state taxes. Some states will tax military retirement and some will not. So you will have to inquire whether your state does. If so, determine the approximate tax rate and then figure out how much you need to have withheld each month. Keep in mind that once you leave active duty, there is no more maintaining a residency state or a home of record. You're essentially going to be taxes to the state where you will be standing when you earn the money. However, keep in mind this as well can always be updated if you find you're changing states in the future. Part 2 of the DD-2656 relates to the lump sum election that is only available for those members that are in the blended retirement system. Keep in mind that if you are a medical retiree, even if you are under the blended retirement system, the lump sum election does not apply to medical retirees. Also keep in mind that if you do intend to request a lump sum election, that has to be completed at least 90 days prior to your effective retirement date. If you are within 90 days, you will not be able to elect a lump sum. Part 3 of the DD-2656 relates to the survivor benefit plan. Please understand that we are not using this webinar to explain the survivor benefit plan. We have many resources available to you to learn more about this program and to decide what is best. This seminar is simply explaining how to complete the form depending on your intentions. In Block 36, this applies only to a reservist. If you're a reservist, you actually made your SBP election when you received your NOE, Notice of Eligibility. You only proceed if you elected option A with your NOE. If you're not sure, check with your branch Reserve Personnel Center. Before completing this section, again, please make sure you have a full understanding of the Survivor Benefit Program. You can watch our information videos on this site prior to completing your form or contact our education team for a one-on-one consultation. On line 36, you will elect your beneficiary category. Remember, you can only elect one box. You cannot cover a former spouse and a current spouse. If you have no eligible beneficiaries at the time of retirement, meaning no spouse or children, you can still fill out the form and select box G and no. Remember, that means you can enroll at a future date if you get married or have children in retirement. But you must notify your supporting pay office within 1 year of the event, meaning the marriage, birth, or adoption. After that, you can no longer apply for SBP. If you do have eligible beneficiaries at the time of retirement but decline, you also select box G but click yes. Remember that you are declining the benefit forever. Line 37 allows you to choose a coverage amount. Remember, the benefit is 55% of the coverage amount. Select box A to cover your full retirement. If you want to cover a lesser amount, select box B and fill in the amount that would be per month. Box C is only checked if you took the Redux bonus at 15 years. Box D likely does not apply to most retirees. It only applies to medical retirees and members who came in prior to 1990 and have a base amount of less than approximately $2,000. Please contact us if you need more information regarding the threshold amount. Complete line 39 with details for your insurable interest beneficiary. Remember, this is only available if you have no spouse or children at the time of your retirement. The premium for this type of coverage is much more, between 10 and 40% of your retirement pay, and you are required to cover your entire retirement. You must fill out the category of former spouse if applicable, even if they're not your beneficiary. Part 4 certification is required to be filled out by everyone. This form can be witnessed by anyone who is not listed elsewhere on the form. So a coworker, your office admin, even a neighbor, as long as you don't have them listed somewhere else on the form. The final section of this form has to do with the SBP spouse concurrence. Remember, a spouse signature is only required if you decline SBP entirely and have a spouse, decline to cover the eligible spouse, or take a base amount less than the full gross retirement pay. Remember, the spouse signature cannot be before the member's signature date. Spouse signatures must be notarized, so please plan accordingly. Hopefully you found that helpful in navigating how to fill out the DD-2656. Here are some reminders. Remember that after retirement, you can update your tax withholdings and other pay-related information in MyPay or with PPC. You can change your SBP election that you made on this form up until midnight of your effective retirement date. After that, no changes can be made to the SBP election. You must make an SBP election or the default will be enrollment under the spouse category. Medical retirees can still make an SBP election even if they're not actually receiving their retirement pay. Separatees must still complete Section 3 and the tax information on the form. Again, I hope you found this session helpful. Please make sure to visit our website under the resources section for more recorded learning modules that can help you understand your benefits during transition. If you need a better understanding about the Survivor Benefit Plan, please reach out to us for a one-on-one consultation or join us virtually on the third Friday of each month at either 12 o'clock or 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Finally, if you have any additional questions about the DD-2656 or any other topics that we have mentioned, please don't hesitate to reach out to any member of our team using the email and phone number below.